Willie Moe Jr. here. Bruh, you ain't gonna never guess what I found out about Pastor John Hannah. Check it out right after this.
Hey guys, Khalil Moore here with the Moore Mentorship, and I'm here to tell you about what the Moore Mentorship is. We're here to influence your kids and be successful young men in life. Make sure you enroll your students at morementorship.com.
Listen, make sure you sign your young man up ages 12 to 18 for the Moore Mentorship, morementorship.com. Here we go. So Pastor John Hannah, yes, pastor out of Chicago, always doing this thing. Everybody love John Hannah in Chicago. He's a fellow radio brother. In fact, my producer, Big Med, the producer, used to be his producer before he was my producer. But that's a whole lot of producing right there, flat out. So John Hannah, he been pastoring, doing his thing, and then he got invited to Africa. Now let me tell you something. When you like a pastor, the bigger goal, not that you after it, but the bigger goal is to be an international pastor, to be able to go across seas and do your thing. To be honest, being a speaker, it's always your goal to preach and teach overseas. But this what happened to John Hannah. He slide over to Africa to a church. He excited about the opportunity until he meet the pastor. Pastor walk in the room like, are you John Hannah? Of course, John Hannah like, yeah, I'm John. He was like, yo, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the pastor of this church. Pastor like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I ain't never seen you, and I ain't even never heard you preach. John Hannah like, okay, but you done agreed to my fee, you done booked my flight, and my accommodations are amazing. Bro, you mean to tell me you don't know my face and you ain't never heard me preach? Pastor like, no. Never seen you or heard you in my life. But while I was praying, the Holy Spirit brought your name up. So I invited you. Pastor John Hannah sitting there like, what? Long story short, John Hannah tore the house down in Africa. And he probably gonna be invited back. But I began to think about you. See, obedience is so better than sacrifice. And the Holy Spirit will put your name with influential people that you've never met when you align with the will of God. You know, a lot of times when you're on social media and you're watching other people excel in their endeavors, we want to try to be like them. We want to try to accelerate our walk by doing some things that can compromise who we are. I figure I'm gonna just be like John Hannah. I'm gonna be obedient to the call that's on my life. And whoever Holy Spirit put on their heart to come holler at me, I'm gonna be found doing what I'm called to do. And I want you to be the same way. To be honest, your call might not look as glamorous to somebody else. In fact, it might even be a tough time for you to be obedient after you done been through some of the stuff you done been through. But I guarantee you that if you keep doing what you're doing and being obedient to the purpose and the high call that's on your life, I just want to tell you that God is putting your name in the mind and in the hearts and in the mouths of people with influence, with people with provision, and with people who can open up a door or a window to accelerate your walk. Remember, the world measures intelligence by IQ, but God measures intelligence by I cans. You better find yourself saying I can and what God called you to do here, flat out. Hey family, Willie Moe Jr. here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this with as many people. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you share because we're trying to go up to 100,000 subscribers. If you're watching on Facebook, just share this thing for your nephew here. And don't forget to log on to morementorship.com. We would love to pour into your young man. 12 to 18, we mentoring these boys every Tuesday, all right? Flat out.
Just in case you didn't know, Willie Moe Jr. on your